This is Fasayo, the Earth Mother of earthmotherguidance.com. And I don't know if this is... Anyway, I ain't gonna go through all that. So today I had a very human moment. Okay, so probably up to like maybe 3 weeks ago, as far as 3 weeks ago up to now, I kept hearing, like women that are, I don't know what you call, like not spiritual, I don't know, because I kind of hate that word, but like spiritual, evolved, high emotional intelligence, whatever. These types of women, I kept hearing them like expressing issues with other women. Excuse me. And a lot of times it wouldn't be in a way that was, it didn't reflect the fact that they were healed. So it might be baby mama issues, it might be rivalry, like old rivalries, it might be mother wound issues, whatever. So I know that we all, have those, varying degrees of those issues in our lives at some point, probably, or we know somebody who does. So, my thing was, we just need to deal with it this way, that way, whatever. Well, today, I was at the grocery store, and it was this girl in line in front of me, and I recognized her immediately because she was this girl that was kind of mean to me in school. She was older than me, and she never crossed over into the place where it would have resulted in any kind of real, disagreement. I was more of a fighter. I ain't talk a lot, but I didn't, the physical stuff don't touch me. We can talk trash all day, but don't put your hands on me, that kind of thing. So she never did that. So a lot of times it would just be like ugly looks or, whatever. And the interesting thing, now I just turned 38. So she got to be like 40, between 40 and 42. I don't know. So it was so interesting because at first, my first reaction was, it was like I was back in freaking high school. And I just remember, and then I found myself, and I'm being very transparent with y'all. So, judge away if you must, but after you get finished judging, be honest with yourself. And I found myself thinking, well, at least I look cute today. You know what I'm saying? Because she had like a headscarf on, the whole nine, And I was just like, and I'm like taking inventory on, like trying to make myself feel better. But I'm doing it by judging her. And then, she gets in this Mercedes. And any of y'all that know me know I do not push a Mercedes. Now, I will say as a side note, I ain't going to say like I could afford one, but I don't want one because I'm like, even to get it fixed is more expensive probably than my whole car. So I get cars I can pay off. Like I can buy straight out. I don't get cars that I got to have payments because I'm cheap, because I know it's going to break at some point and I'd rather just be able to pay for it. So anyway, so I'm just looking at her car and I'm like, I'm going through this whole thing like, because I bet she did this and I bet she did that, her life. And now I've turned it from, looking at her and judging her to now I've turned on myself. Like, well, maybe you should have, gone to college for this, and maybe you should have gotten a degree in that. And if you had, then you would probably have more money and, this and that and other. So anyway, then it was weird because once she was out of my sight, everything shifted. And it was like, I came back to myself and I was like, Heifer, you a healer. Why are you acting like that? So all this to say, that I got my own stuff put to the test. That's what happened. And so what I had to look at was when she was talking to me like that, when she was treating me like that, it was in high school, and a lot of us came from some very rough circumstances in high school. a lot of us were broken. You know, a lot of us, I mean, just being a teenager anyway is hard. You know, people talking about, if I could just go back. Listen, can nobody pay me good money to go back to being a teenager? It's hard. You know, it's difficult. And then to be in high school, like in public school, having to deal with that. So, but it's just that it was weird. It's like I said, once she was out of my sight, I came back to myself, and I immediately thought about that I have so much self-work to do, because I went from being Earth Mother Guidance to, I got money, sorry, my dog steals, and anyway. So I went from being Earth Mother Guidance to Kesha, you know, back in 1995, Kesha, you know, like I just immediately went back. And what it showed me is that I still have work to do, you know, that the theories, you know, that I have will be tested, you know, as a healer, as a mature adult, as somebody who is self-aware, as somebody who loves themselves. All that's going to be tested, because remember, even I turned on myself. After I got finished mentally turning on her, then I turned around and turned on myself. You know, I went from judging her to judging me next. And so the thing is that, you know, a lot of times the healing things that we say are good in theory. And it doesn't mean that what I said wasn't a good idea. Because I usually tell women, you know, treat these women that you are at odds with like you would your clients. Like, I have to get to a place where, you know what, not even like your clients, like your sister. Because she is my sister. And then I just posted this thing to Facebook yesterday that said something to the effect of, if basically saying, like, I'm gonna just say it like this: if you hadn't talked to me in a year, basically don't think that you know me, because I've grown exponentially, which is true, I have. But I didn't allow her the same thing. I hadn't seen this girl in like 20 years. Probably for her, more like 21, 22, because she graduated before me. I ain't seen her like, we'll say at least 20 years. And I still got her stuck at who she was 20 years ago. Ooh, do I need to do some self-work? Yes, I do. So, but see, even that, we have to be able to step back and say, you know, I need to get this work, you know, because I'm always telling my clients, what you want to do? You want to work? You want to get the results? Or, you know, some of them, you going to sit on the phone and cry for an hour, or we going to work? Which one you going to do? 'Cause yes, I am like that. You know, and so the thing is that I have work to do. I have self-work to do. You know, because I was even telling my mom the other day, somebody else I grew up with is real like snippy with me. We still kind of interact on Facebook or whatever, but it's really snippy with me. And is a healer. I mean, I don't doubt the skills at all, but I'm like, you mean you can't heal me? Like, cause you mean to me. No, I don't want no healing from you. You can't heal me and not like me. It's no different than if I know you don't like me, I won't eat your food. I might not even tell you why I'm not eating your food, but I won't eat your food. It's the same thing. It's an exchange of energy. Plus, as a Southerner, we just don't do that. That's just something we don't do. But so if you're having, one that kept coming up was like the baby mama thing. So like, because a lot of us do have blended families. So like, if you're having to deal with your spouses or your partner's mates, whatever, their children's biological parent, and say it's a woman, a sister who's not healed, then you might encounter quite a bit of venomous behavior. You know, a lot of striking out, a lot of name calling, threats. You know, that's a lot of what I've been hearing lately. I don't know if it's something in the air or what. You know, the best way mentally to deal with it is just treat them, think of them like you would if they were your client. Because really that's what it is. They just hurt. Like they hurt. They feel like they done been shorted. It's jealous. It's just brokenness. And even another childhood friend was talking about, you know, her mom and her family and how horrible they were, and you know, has even in the past has struck out at me, but in the more recent past, you know, has talked to my mom about me, and you know, saying all these very strange very interesting things, you know, about our relationship over the years or whatever. But I have to remember, you know, that we all go through different phases in our healing, and sometimes those phases just don't line up, you know. But I want to be able to be there once they're healed, and if I can help them heal along the way, great. But you know, we can't, as healers, we can't help everybody. Everybody's not gonna be a good fit for us, because I know, like, I'm a worker. I mean, I mean, if somebody calls me and they're like genuinely, or what I can perceive to be genuinely upset or frustrated by the process, I can deal with that. But what I will not deal with is you sitting up there crying because the truth done hurt your feelings. Because I give the truth with as much honey as needed. But it's like you taking honey with bitter herbs sometimes. You still gonna taste that bitterness, but the honey just gonna make it where you can deal with it. Well, that's me. You know, my thing is results. I'm results, you know, driven. I'm driven by seeing the results. I want the way that I help you to come out with results, not me sitting up here, you know, petting you. That's the kind of healer I am. You know, some of the other people I'm around that are healers are sweet. Oh Lord, they sweet as they can be. They can't, they don't like any kind of conflict, hurt feelings, none of that. I don't purposely hurt your feelings, but I mean, sometimes the growing process don't feel good. And I guess and that's the kind of company that I keep generally. I have friends around me, the ones that I'm real close with, oh, they get my tail. One of them just got my tail the other day because she told me I was doing this book, reading this book. Well, y'all probably saw the videos on intuitive eating. She told me, she was like, you're not ready for that. And she gave me all the reasons why. And it hurt my little feelings for a minute. But I know she is not one that's gonna intentionally hurt me, but she ain't gonna pull no punches either. So I said, okay, well, let me digest this, you know, because I was offended, like, don't be telling me what I'm ready for, you know. So and I was like, well, let me digest it. And when I did, you know, when I put my big girl panties on, because them things be tight, they be hurting sometimes. When I put my big girl panties on, and she was right. So I had to take it back a step. And I started reading a different book because I was reading something I wasn't ready for. So anyway, you know, it's just that what I wanted to say basically is, as women healers, we don't gotta do anything, but I would ask us, not you, us. I would ask us to do better when we interacting with people that we have history with. Cause sometimes we speaking, you know, with mouths with two waters. You know, they got bitter and sweet coming out the same fountain, and you know. So it's like you gotta either be love or fear. You know, anything that's not love is fear. Y'all heard me say that before. Anything that's not love is fear. And I saw it this morning when I acted like I was like 17 again. And for all I know, she ain't even see me. you know, she might have, and look, she could have seen me and felt the same way. Because, I mean, I don't know what she was dealing with in school. She could have been dealing with her own insecurities. I don't know. And even, I've seen a lot on Facebook with people who don't want to tell their stuff. Y'all know my past. You can go hunt through some videos and find all my past stuff. But we don't want to deal with our past, and a lot of times you find that those are the things that they fight the hardest. If somebody got a homosexual history, a lot of times you'll see that they are just completely anti, like, not in a I don't do that, I'm not interested in it, or this is because of my religion, but they against it in a way that's fearful. You know, because hate is fear. So they just hateful, you know, just mad at everybody who's gay or everybody who say they had any kind of alternative sexual history, however you want to put it. The one that always calling somebody hoes. You look in their past and you like, ooh, sexually open much? You know, which, like I say, you grown, you do what you want to, but it's just that I find it interesting that when we don't want to do the self-work, a lot of times we we hate those things that we are or that we were. So we gotta do better, y'all. Like us, we gotta do better. Because I went back 20 years this morning in the darn grocery store. I was so ashamed. And y'all, I've been so resistant to doing this video. I was supposed to have done this video this morning. I was like, I don't feel like telling these folk my business again about how I done acting up. And I ain't act up. I ain't say nothing to her, nothing like that. But I felt so, it's like I felt like a failure. You know what I'm saying? Like, it made me question, like, are you a healer and you dealing with another woman like this? Like, I mean, I ain't call her no bad names in my head, but I was like, this chick, you know, and that ain't no loving, that's not like a loving term, you know, for me to use with her. And she ain't done nothing to me in like 20 years. It's like, let it go. When you gonna let it go? You supposed to be Fasayo, but you acting like Kesha. Don't do it. I think that's all for now. So anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you so much to my new viewers, my new subscribers. I see y'all and I'm grateful. Mari, what are you doing? I can see you. Mark. And thank you so much to my familiar family for sticking in with me with my unedited videos and such. Go on over and check me out at www.earthmotherguidance.com and on Facebook by the same name, Earth Mother Guidance. I have some events lined up for y'all to check out if you want to participate in. If you're not in the Charlotte area, let me know if you still want to participate in the events, because I can do an online version. Yeah. Because I have some girls gatherings that I would like to do, because they're much needed. Can't have too many of those, but we need to gather the girls so we can heal these girls, so we can have healed women, healed sisters. So anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Love you. Abundance to you. Bliss to you. Odabo.